everyone, Crazy Spartan again. Now I have a great subject for you today. My top 5 weapons I would like to see return to the Halo series. Now we can assume that all the standard weapons will return, like your BRs, rockets, snipers, needlers, etc. Now what about some of the others that didn't make the cut for Halo 4? And that's what I want to go over today. Now let's jump right into it with number 5. I have to give this spot to the Flamethrower. Now this was just an incredibly fun weapon to wield, catching some guy off guard and just roasting him. Now then you had to be careful though, because if you walked over him too soon, you would catch fire and also burn. Now I could easily see this weapon added to Flood or Infection games. In general, matchmaking is just would work well too. I don't see competitive matchmaking. You know, you got pretty standard weapons and whatever on that, but for just like social games, oh, just incredibly fun to do that. Alright, number 4. I'm going to cheat a little bit here. Now I want to see the return of the flame and spike grenades. Now both these grenades were just so fun to use. Now I love sticking somebody with the spike grenade and they walked around briefly with this friggin' thing stuck to their head or any other body part. I mean, it was just incredibly fun because it didn't blow up right away, and it's just fun to watch. Very comical kills in my opinion. Now of course the flame grenades, you had to be very careful where you threw those. They left a flame area, and if you threw it into a firefight, you could easily kill your teammates accidentally. Now that actually is another thing I would like to see return, is friendly fire in general matchmaking. So you just can't spam rockets or whatever and not worry about killing teammates. That of course is another video subject, I think. Alright, moving on. Number 3 is the grenade launcher from Halo Reach. Now, I love this weapon. It actually took a lot of skill to use. I still wasn't super fantastic at it, but I was pretty decent at it. It was perfect for that campers on top of Yellow Lift and Sword Base. You could fire it, bounce it off the wall, and then clear out that little room that always had people sitting there with the sword or shotgun. Now I liked the fact that it had 2 separate modes actually of fire. You could fire it regularly and it acted like a regular frag grenade would, or fire it and hold the trigger down and you would get an EMP out of it that could stun vehicles or strip shields off of enemy players. Now it also took a fair amount of skill to use effectively, especially if you were just trying to knock a Banshee or a Falcon out of the air. So I really enjoyed that weapon. Now here's a cool idea I thought of. Now what if you picked it up and it had its standard 2 grenades in it, but if you have grenades in your inventory, like say you had the spike grenade or a flame grenade in your inventory, and then you could fire those out of your weapon. I think that would be really cool. Firing a flame grenade right across the map. Just incredibly fun, I would think. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to my number 2 spot. Now I would love to see another Halo Reach weapon return, and that would be the plasma launcher. Now this was a fantastic weapon against jetpacks. Now believe it or not, I actually prefer the Halo Reach jetpack over the Halo 4, mainly because they would go so high into the air. They were so easy to pick out of the air with DMR. Now that is also why I like the plasma launcher. Now I could lock onto those jetpacker users and enjoy the show. Now if you can't tell, I am not a fan of the jetpack. But it was just incredibly fun. They would fly into the air. I would lock onto them and, fire a weapon, and it would track them. Next thing you know, they were dead, and I got some free points because of them jetpackers. Like I said, again, not a fan of the jetpack. Alright, this weapon also tends to have a comical value as well. Unfortunately, I did lose the clip on my computer when it died, but I had a clip on the map Hemorrhage, where a driver in a Warthog had one of the plasmas locked onto him and his vehicle. Now he went around the base and it just followed him everywhere he went. It was just fun to watch. And then he stopped, you know, to get out and do whatever, and it finally caught up to him and killed him, and just laughed. And it's just funny. That's another reason I loved that weapon. Alright, it's time for my #1 pick of weapons. This weapon has never been in a Halo multiplayer except one. The one it was in was Firefight ODST style. Now, if you can't tell what I'm talking about, it is the silenced SMG from Halo 3 ODST. Now, I love this weapon. You couldn't just open fire and just waste your rounds. It had a hell of a kick on it, and it would quickly get you off target. Now, you needed short control bursts, not to mention it also had a zoom function too. Now, this was a very, very versatile weapon. Now, imagine if you could dual wield them or anything like that. You would lose your zoom and stuff like that, and you fired them both at the same time, full bore. I mean, it would really have some crazy kick then. Well, that is essentially my list for the top 5 weapons I would love to see return or enter into the next Halo game. Now, what is your personal top 5? Please leave a comment below. As always, if you like this video, please leave a like, rating, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. This is the Crazy Spartan, and I am out of here.